Elon Musk's net worth is 212 billion, making him the richest person in the world. That makes Elon richer than Bill Gates, Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos. I was curious though, how did Elon Musk make his first million and how old was he when he did it? What we uncovered was crazy. So now that you know the net worth of Elon Musk, we'll highlight some of the key things he did to pull it off so that you can hopefully follow in his footsteps. Let's get into it. Elon Musk's early life. Elon was born and raised in Pretoria, South Africa. His father, Elon Musk, is an electromechanical engineer and his mother, Mainie Musk, is a model. As a child, doctors actually thought that Elon was partially deaf because he had a habit of gazing off into the distance and not responding to people calling out his name. Musk's parents had him undergo surgery to restore his hearing, but nothing improved. It turns out he just spent a lot of time in his head daydreaming. Musk also had a huge love for books and read 10 hours a day. He literally ran out of books to read at the library and ended up reading the entire encyclopedia. He eventually also got into gaming, which is what initially got him interested in technology. He wanted to learn how to program his own games, which led him to get an early Commodore computer. So all the time he used to devote to daydreaming and reading books, he spent computer programming. He was so passionate about it that he completed a 6-month programming course in 3 days. At the age of 12, he created and sold his own video game called Blaster, which he sold to a PC magazine for $500. This is the first product Musk ever sold. Elon Musk's odd jobs in Canada. Alright, so phase 2 of Elon's early life. This is how his teenage years shaped his life as an entrepreneur. So after leaving South Africa in 1988, Musk actually spent time doing weird-ass jobs in Canada. He tended vegetable gardens and shoveled out grain bins at a cousin's farm in Saskatchewan, and he even cut logs in Vancouver. Elon also visited an unemployment office and asked what the highest paying job they had was, and it turned out to be the boiler room of a lumber mill, so that's what he did. He was making $18 an hour wearing a ham-shad suit, crawling through small spaces and shoveling residue. 30 people actually got hired from the same job, and at the end of the week, it was just Elon and 2 other men who were able to stick with it. How Elon called his way into working at a bank. So Elon and his brother would read newspapers and find interesting business people to reach out to. He and his brother would take turns cold calling, and they eventually got the attention of Peter Nicholson. Nicholson was the head of the marketing for the Toronto Blue Jays baseball team and a top executive at the bank. It took 6 months to get on this guy's schedule, but he actually agreed to have lunch with 2 teenagers who took a 3-hour train ride to meet him. But it worked. The meeting resulted in Elon landing an internship at the bank. Elon Musk's education and university years. Elon went to Queen's University in Ontario, Canada, and sold computer parts and PCs, and did tech support out of his dorm room. And after he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in '92, he paid for rent by converting his house into a nightclub. They'd had as many as 500 people come over, charged everyone $5, and it was all-you-can-drink thing with beer and yellow shots. Elon happily ran the parties because he was paying his way through college. He could make an entire month's rent in just one night. In general though, he was actually quiet and sober, so he would be the one to talk to the cops when they showed up. And his mom Maine even worked the door. She would check codes and collect the money. After graduating UPenn with a bachelor's degree in physics and an economic degree in Wharton, Elon went to Stanford to pursue a PhD in energy physics. A few weeks before classes started, Netscape went public with a valuation of nearly $3 billion. Musk was already aware of the business potential of the internet, but at that moment he realized that he was going to be able to change society forever. So he ended up leaving Stanford just 2 days in. How Elon Musk made his first million. Elon saw the potential that the Yellow Pages was missing, so he started Zip2. He realized that he and his brother were fumbling around trying to find Netscape's pitch and listening in the Yellow Pages, so he built Zip2 to be a searchable business directory that people could use to get door-to-door directions to businesses. To get the business off the ground, Elon purchased a local business directory for a few $100s. Elon purchased that business directory. It wasn't super cheap, but it provided him with everything he needed to build Zip2's website and start getting customers. I know many of you today might not even know what the Yellow Pages are, but this was 1995. Most people didn't even really know what the internet was. So Elon and his brother actually had trouble convincing anyone to believe in their idea. When they launched the website, Elon only had $2,000 in the bank, so most of their costs were covered by their father, who gave them $20,000 to get it going. Elon and his brother actually lived super cheap. They slept on futons at the office rather than renting an apartment. They showered at the YMCA a few blocks away, and they shared one computer between them. And Elon even convinced a startup in the office below to use their internet so he could save money on the internet costs. Once the website was up and running, Elon hired salespeople on commission and they went door to door in malls and shopping areas to sell sponsored listings. Slowly, the money started to trickle in. So around 1997, Zip2 began offering a platform service to newspapers. They were licensing their technology. They offered directories and city guides to these companies. By 1998, almost 200 newspapers were using their platform. What's crazy is that he still hasn't achieved $1 million, or even anything close to his current net worth. So how did he get there? In '96, more Davidoff Ventures invested $3 million in Zip2, but Elon had to hand over most of his shares and the role of CEO to someone else. He was demoted to CTO and he was pissed off, but he needed the money to take Zip2 to the next level. So he did the deal. Zip2 actually had customers like the New York Times, Pulitzer Publishing, and Hertz Corporation. So before Craigslist owned the world of classified ads, Zip2 played a big role in print publishing going digital, and the company did grow quickly. Because of this, Elon got sour about the idea of someone else running his business. And this is when it gets crazy. In '98, the new CEO tried to merge with CitySearch. And Elon actually organized a coup to have that CEO ousted, and he reinstated himself. The plan worked at first, but it backfired when Zip2's board turned around and sold the company to Compaq in 1999. So the Zip2 deal amounted to $307 million, and Elon finally became a millionaire by ending up with $22 million from the deal. So Elon Musk became a multimillionaire at 27 years old, and he used over $11 million from that payout to found X.com, which eventually became PayPal. In 2002, PayPal sold to eBay, and Elon earned $180 million from that deal. Here's a rough timeline of how Elon's first business is. 1984. Elon creates Blaster video game at age 12, sells for $500. 1995, Elon graduates from UPenn, enrolls in and drops out of Stanford. 1995, Elon co-founds Zip2 with $28,000 loan from his father. 1999, Elon earns $22 million from Zip2 sale to Compaq. 1999, Elon founds PayPal with $11 million. 2002, Elon earns $180 million from PayPal sale to eBay. 2002, Elon starts SpaceX with $100 million. 2003, Elon co-founds Tesla. He founded and co-founded a few other companies since then, like Neuralink and the Boring Company, which also contribute to his net worth. But that's a breakdown of how Elon got his start. It's crazy that he went from basically $0 in 1995 when he started Zip2 to $180 million in just 7 years. Although Elon has made billions of dollars, he considers himself cash poor. A lot of Elon Musk's net worth is tied up in non-liquid assets, so he doesn't just have a few billions sitting in the bank at any given moment. He said before that he's taking out mortgages and used credit cards just like anyone else. And even after Elon earned millions of dollars from his business sales, he still slept on his friends' couches and asked them for money while he was reinvesting everything he earned into starting his next business.